today we are putting in our edible beans or dry beans. These are the beans that you get in your, burritos, taco salads, beans and rice. So we grow these beans. A little more work, but they're a little higher value crop. And you plant them with the corn planter. So dropping about 88,000 into a nice warm stale seed bed. So hopefully the rain holds off to the end of the week and these beans are just starting to knuckle through, and we should be fine. So dried out well over the weekend, and yeah, lots of moisture. I'm just sneaking these things in 1.5 inches deep, so I'm not putting them too deep, just putting them in. There's lots of moisture there. They'll get up and out of the ground here in no time. All right, well, it's been kind of uneventful. I have got 31 acres planted. These farms plant really quick in comparison to the other ones because the rounds are so long, so I'm not turning all the time. So, and we're not putting in furrow in because edible beans or dry beans, it's a really big seed and they're sensitive to salt, and there could be it affects emergence. So I don't want to have beans come up patchy. So we're just putting our nitrogen on. I'm putting about 30 units on with the planter, and then I've got about another, I believe it's like 60-ish with dry fertilizer. But they fix their own nitrogen, but dry beans just need a little bit of commercial N to get them going. So we, yeah. Last year I think I got a little carried away and put too much nitrogen on. They got really tall. So this year I just dialed it back a little bit and see if I can, keep the height down on them. But last year we had lots of rains too, so it probably didn't hurt. Have a little extra nitrogen there. So anyways, they're going in beautifully nice. All right, so here's the seed. We are growing small red vipers. So I believe there is 55 bags on this skid. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 times 5 is 55. And the other one had 50 on it. Put 48 in. I just put 2 in. I got 35 acres out of the way it was going on. I dropped it back a sprocket to 85,000 because I don't want to have to go get seed or try and finish up tomorrow morning. So anyways, we'll get putting this seed in. Already got one in here. I'm gonna put 3 bags in each one. And then that'll give me a handle on how much I got left, and then Joe can bring the rest. I think you guys get the picture. Half the planter full, we'll get the other half done. Down to the last fill up. I think I'm gonna put 14 bags in. 12 bags in. Joe's gonna finish up planting, so I'm gonna go clean the sprayer out, and I'm gonna get our herbicide program, or get the sprayer cleaned out. I don't know whether I'll get this sprayed tonight before the rain or not. I hope to. I gotta get my phone. Well, I don't know if it's gonna rain or not. I'm not gonna risk trying to go spray that and end up getting rained out. Just coming up on Joe. I think he's doing his last pass. Call that a wrap on Plant 2025. We're all done. Like I said, at least for the first time. Fingers crossed, there's no replanting, and these crops are off to the races. All right, don't mind the headphones. I'm going spraying, and I don't have a Bluetooth radio in the sprayer that works. But Joe went and picked up mini excavator. It's got a thumb on it, so we're gonna work away at tidying this up now that we got the crop all planted, and we will get it that we got maybe a bit of a yard, bust up the concrete here and at least get some yard and fix in all the water where the water pools up, so we got a usable yard so we don't have to park as much stuff over there, and we can work in front of the shop. So he's just got it ready. He's gonna pick away at cleaning stuff up. So I'm just gonna grab the forklift. I gotta grab a tote of Roundup Extend and get that ready. We're gonna spray some soybeans that are just coming up. Get the herbicide laid down before it gets too hot and humid. To the latter half of the month. All right, so I got my chemical here. Here is the Roundup Extend 2. So for those of you that don't know, that is Roundup or glyphosate and dicamba with the vapor grip technology to help reduce volatility. Still doesn't change the fact for off-target drift, so you still have to be mindful and you still have to spray it, follow the label. So I always try and do my best to pick conditions when it is conducive to spray, and I always refer to the product label, and when in doubt, just play it safe with it. It's not that it's going to hurt the crop, it's just crops in neighboring fields it can affect. So we always try and make sure we're neighborly and spray when conditions are conducive to do so. But I don't know if you guys can hear me that well over the pump, but we're just pumping in. I've got a flow meter here, so I know exactly how much product I'm putting in, and then my Venturi system is sucking it in line, and then it's going in right into the sprayer. So I always like to spray a bit of water and keep this thing rinsed down so that I don't have chemical buildup on the inside of it, so it doesn't cross-contaminate at later spraying dates. So, and then it's just pumping from that tote into here. So I got to put about 150 liters in here, and we're just under a third of the way there. So we will hopefully have this pump can get it before we got to shut the water off. All right, so there's the chemical. I better unhook off my chem pump or I'll drive away and pull it down the road. Direct the leads. So like I've said in earlier videos, this only goes up to 805. There is a way to cheat it. So for the rest of it, I just know when it starts to come out the top of that right there, that's right at 1,000, a little over 1,000 gallons. So we'll, I don't need, it's not like I'm gonna run a couple gallons short where I'm going first, but yeah. But once I spray out 250 gallons, I just go into the screen and reset the fill level, and it works out bang on every time. I'm within 2 to 3 gallons of extra product, which is what I want every time, so I don't, you know, clean out goes way faster. So last stuff I sprayed was Roundup and Dual pre-emergent, so before the beans are up on my edible beans. So that Dual and Roundup doesn't affect soybeans, so I didn't have to do a rinse this time. I'll get this all sprayed, and if there's a little bit left over, I got to respray one field of corn. It won't hurt it, so, and then I'll just be spraying Roundup to clean up some cornfields, so that when I got to go spray post-emergence on my edible beans, it's just a nice, simple, easy rinse. So we will get close here. I better pay attention so I don't overfill the sprayer. Guys, just finished spraying first tank. I tried getting some video of for you guys out on the boom, but it started to spit rain and the lens got covered in rain. So, and then the other field was short little runs, and one was quite difficult to spray. It took just as long to spray it as I did the other 80 acres. But anyways, just heading back to the yard now, and we'll load up and we'll head to the last field of beans that we got to spray. Alright guys, just finished up spraying here. It's 20 to 10. That last 3 fields was a bit of a rodeo, so didn't get the camera out. I just wanted to get done. Catch up with you guys in the morning. Alright, just out checking our 30-inch beans. Looks like they're moving right along. They don't look like much from the road, but what I'm out here doing is just coming out and checking to see what I need to, what I need to do to respray, because it's been about, well, 4 weeks since they put the burn down and pre-emerge on it. So it's still holding pretty good. There's just some big perennials that come later that I'll need to get, but it's just checking to see what stage they're at. So these beans here, if you're growth staging beans, so these are, all right, just out checking our 30-inch beans. Looks like they're moving right along. They don't look like much from the road, but what I'm out here doing is just coming out and checking to see what I need to, what I need to do to respray, because it's been about, well, 4 weeks since they put the burn down and pre-emerge on it. So it's still holding pretty good. There's just some big perennials that come later that I'll need to get, but it's just checking to see what stage they're at. So these beans here, if you're growth staging beans. So these are, all right, so gonna do a little agronomy session here. So we're just gonna stage these beans. So down below these things right here, they're called the cotyledons. And then we've got our unifoliates. So uni means one, and they call they're a foliate. And then we've got one fully emerged trifoliate, so 3 leaves. And we're working on the second coming out. So these beans are pretty much at, I believe, V1. So we want to, we'll probably just hold off a little bit. They're gonna really start to take off here in a bit. You dig down under the crust here, and we still got lots of good soil moisture. So they don't look like they're doing much on top, but they're doing a lot down below, putting roots down, forming nodules. So I'll probably wait till they're V3, V4, and just come back in and clean up. I'll probably throw in some volunteer corn spray because it's cheap, and just do another pass of Roundup because we'll take on, we'll target some of this volunteer canola that keeps, I had canola on this farm about 3 years ago. And then get any of these dandelions here that aren't too happy. There's not a super amount of weed pressure that I need to rush out and do that right now. So they've got a nice, like I said, nice green tinge. They're starting to bush out. And beans are slow this year. I think it just happens to coincide with all that cool, wet weather. It took them a while to come up, but now that they're up and we're getting some sun and some heat, they'll be off to the races. All right, we're just gonna come up to a wheat field here that I sprayed, that I said we were battling stripe rust. So it's been about 10 days since application. So it'll be, I'll show you what untreated looks like versus treated. And I think it was well worth the investment this year. So we'll come over here. This is a low spot here that lays with water. And then actually this hydro line, our combine doesn't fit under it with the bin extensions. So we're just gonna square it up and fill it in here. Landlord here will wanna fill it in here so that the water goes over and doesn't lay. And then it will just seed it to grass because there's so much overlap and turning in there. We don't really get much of a crop out of it, so there's no real benefit. So you can see here, this is stripe rust. So you can see how it's kind of got a stripe pattern. And the reason they call it rust is the spores look like rust. So that's why they call it stripe rust, because it puts stripes on the leaves and it looks like rust. So sprayed this field a couple weeks or 10 days ago. Like I said, when you get up in here, it's not great. It's hard to get the sprayer to cover everything fully, but we have held it at bay for the most part. Lots of big heads, so hopefully they fill out. I'm just in a sprayer track here, and you can see we still got it out in the field, but not at the severity of the untreated. So you can look here at this flag leaf. We just got it at the tip there, but for the most part it's fairly clean. But yeah, The field across the road, it's not ours, it's a neighboring farm. It's in a lot worse shape. So we applied a fungicide here with our herbicide and our growth regulator. And we then protected it. They didn't, and it set in a lot earlier. So just hoping that the fungicide holds and the infection doesn't get any worse, and we're able to fill the heads. But all right, just coming up to this field here. We'll just hop out and have a look. It's interesting. Somebody was down and cut the weeds down at the field entrance. So first impressions of what I'm seeing here. This is horsetail. It's actually not a plant. It is what we call, it's like a fern. So back when the dinosaurs were around, that's what was the predominant plant. And so it's actually not a plant. So it's got rhizomes and it produces with spores. So, but it looks like I do need to come in and respray this field. So it was sprayed, I have to look it up, but I think it was sprayed like May 20th. Well, it was sprayed Victoria Day weekend. So on the Monday. So hasn't been a month yet, but got lots of little lamb's quarters coming. So I'll just come back down here with some Roundup and we will hit it. But corn looks awesome. Really impressed. This corn here is 107-day corn. So that maturity is lots long for us, but since I was planting the end of April, so you guys can see me, get out of that. I hope the wind's not too bad. I do have my mic, so hopefully it's coming through good. It's really, it needs the full extent of our growing season to hit maturity, which I'm pretty confident it will. The last few years that we have got, when you look at our crop heat units in Canada is what we use them, but they are also called growing degree days, GDUs in the US. The last 3 or 4 years, if you've been able to plant on time in our area anyways, we've gotten good enough heat that we can finish the crop. So not a lot of weeds once we get into the field, but up there's high weed pressure because that's a high traffic area, headland traffic, and so they get well established. Got some volunteer soybeans. Got a little ragweed here, he's not doing so well. So the herbicides that we put on, Lotus, has got good residual. So I'm just wondering if they haven't got rain to take up the herbicide. We've got some volunteer edible beans in here that have come up. So there's enough weeds here to justify coming and hitting it with a liter of Roundup. Happy Father's Day! Warren and I are gonna go do some spraying. Say hi, Warren! Say hi! Alright, we'll catch up with you guys in the field. We just got loaded up here. Alright guys, we are in our second field here. Just doing a cleanup pass of Roundup here for the corn. And yeah, first field was a little rough. And I forgot to hit my master. Nice! So So we'll get to the end, turn around, and then we'll get to come back up this track. That was smart, Jake. I usually do that about once a year. Forget to hit my master when I turn on the end. So, anyways, we will maybe get you guys out on the boom here for the next little while, so you guys can see what it's like outside the cab. Finished up, just folding up, and hopefully you guys enjoyed being out on the boom there. So hopefully we got all the weeds killed here, and go home and rinse the sprayer out so it's ready for in-cropping the edible beans, because I don't think I've got anything else that I need to spray just yet. Let's go get them their straw. I'm gonna put a couple bales in there, and I'm just trying something out with the drone, so I'm hoping I can edit the video. You guys got me in the cab running the skid steer and coming out, and hopefully it turns out all right. But got some clean straw here. We just cut the strings and move them around with the skid steer to get them spread out. There we got them all bedded up. As you can see, we added some better lights in here, a little more higher quality lights, so hopefully they last a lot longer. Shout out to our electrician, K&L Electric out of Lucan. Gavin looks after us pretty good. So he said if I shout him out, I get 50% off the lights. I'm just kidding, about 5. I'm gonna try and get 5% off it. Doesn't matter, he does good work. So if you're local here looking for somebody to do some barn residential stuff, give Gavin a shout, he does really good work. So, well, I'm gonna go enjoy Father's Day now. So till next time, guys, Keep her between the ditches.